In today's video, we're going to have a look in the individual holdings of the Spaceship Univers portfolio. We're going to compare the different funds that you can choose when you invest into Spaceship Voyager, the Spaceship Voyager Univers portfolio, the Origin portfolio, or the New Earth portfolio. This will be just a very brief look into what the differences are. And we're going to have a quick look into the target allocation of all the three different options that we have. So let's get right into it. Welcome to the video. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're doing well. My name is Michael, and I'm going to share my screen straight away so that you can follow me when we go through their website and the details from their funds. Going to the website straight away, you can see that they have some different options. You can either invest or you can invest in super. And the standard option is just normal investing, which I am doing in my challenge, where I invest $1 for every new subscriber to my channel. And let's scroll a little bit down where we can see here straight away the different portfolios that we have as an option. And as I said, we have the Univers portfolio, the Origin portfolio, and the Earth portfolio, which is really new. It really just got established, I think, in November last year. And yeah, you can scroll further down to get a couple of more information on how much you need to pay when you invest. And it's actually really low fee. So for example, below 5,000 Australian dollars, it's entirely free, the product. So it's great for when you want to start out with investing. And yeah, let's go into the details. You can either scroll down and find the product disclosure statements further on the bottom over here, or you can go onto the individual investment pages and you find them on the bottom there as well. Let's go into the Univers Portfolio product disclosure statement first, because that's the fund that I've chosen for our challenge that we have. And yeah, looking into the PDF, there are first a couple of general informations. And by the way, this is actually really great if you want to get an overview about what that is, what this portfolio is about and what it means. And it's actually not a very long document. You can really scroll through it, and it's just a number of pages. I think it's, yeah, not even, it's 8 pages with a lot of really good information. And you can also read through it really easily. So it's not hard to understand. But I want to go to the section where we have here the target allocation from that specific fund. And we see that the Univers portfolio's target allocation is 70 to 80% into international stocks and 15 to 25% into Australian stocks. And they always hold a little bit of cash to make sure that they can distribute future money. And scrolling just a little bit further down, there are a couple of more really interesting information. We see that they try to hold 70 to 80 companies in their portfolio. And yes, they want a holding time frame is 7 years, but they manage this fund actively. So even though the fund is now, I think, 2.5 years old, they had already positions that they sold out of. Not many, but there were some that they sold out of. So it's certainly actively managed, and you can see that there are differences happening. And those changes are always communicated in an email, which I find really interesting because they go also into detail about why they sold a company or why they are establishing a new position into a company. So it's really good, even though, again, also that is no financial advice. And they always say that, same as my videos are no financial advice, but it's always interesting to see what other people, what other companies and other investment companies are doing. So yeah, this is the target allocation from the Spaceship Univers portfolio. Let's go into the target allocation from the Origin portfolio. Let's skip the first couple of pages, and you can see it got recently updated, November 2020, and I think that was a time when they established the new portfolio as well. You can see this is very similar in terms of the allocation, but you can see that there are more than double the amount of companies within that portfolio. And this is the main difference between those two options that you have when you invest in Spaceship Voyager. When you invest into the Univers portfolio is actively managed. The companies, they can decide which companies they pick and choose into their investment portfolio. It's a lot focused on growth companies. So most of the companies are growth orientated companies that don't pay dividends. And some of them are also established companies like Microsoft, and we're going to see that in a moment. But they actively pick which companies they like. For the Origin portfolio, they take the largest companies by market cap from the different countries they invest in. The majority of the investment come from US, but a large number of investments are also coming from Australia. So I don't know the exact number, but for example, they invest into the top 60 companies from Australia, maybe the top 80 on top 90 companies from the US, and then the top companies from other countries as well. From China, there are certainly some in there. From Canada, there are some in there. And then the top performers and top market cap companies from other countries. But again, less actively managed, less changes because they follow the companies that have the highest market cap, and they are just not changing that often. And let's have a quick look into the PDS from the Earth portfolio. Again, a new portfolio, and I don't know a lot of details about them as yet, but we're going to find out soon. So scrolling down again to the part that is interesting to us. Here we go. So this looks a little bit different to what we saw in the other two statements. Companies listed in Australia and internationally, so they have just put it together. That makes 85 to 100%, depending on how much they are invested, and they hold 0 to 15% cash. And you can see here that they have less companies in this particular portfolio. And yeah, the primary objective is to find long-term capital growth investing. That's a pretty boring statement. High growth. I think on the top page, we found a really interesting statement. Again, not very clear, but yeah, investing in a portfolio of companies that have a positive impact on people and the planet. So it's still very broad, and it still could end up almost every company in there. But Spaceship Voyager is doing a really good job, and I would trust that they try to pick companies that have a green footprint. So companies that they have in here, for example, are Atlassian, which is an Australian company listed on the New York Stock Exchange, First Solar, or Starbucks. Starbucks, for example, does a lot with their sustainability around coffee cups and also produced coffee. So they're actually really good examples. But yeah, anyway, you could see that the allocation from their funds is certainly different. And the most aggressive fund is the one that I picked for my investments. And this is the Univers Portfolio. And now we want to have a look into the list of companies that are invested into the Univers Portfolio, or that part of the Univers Portfolio. We are now in the dashboard of my investment platform within Spaceship Voyager. We can see here that the overall performance was almost 50% for the last 12 months, which is really, really good when you compare that to a broad market index. And you can see already some of their top performers. Those percentage gains are year to date, so really just the first couple of days from 2021. which is kind of insane that there are some companies that have more than 20%, so more a quarter of their performance gained in just the last couple of days. But we want to see the entire portfolio. And this is the first one alphabetically, and not a great example to look at. A2 Milk, an Australian listed company. The company is from New Zealand, and it's listed on both exchanges. And yeah, as you can see, the last 6 months have not been very positive for A2 Milk. So minus 50%. So this was definitely not a contributor to the great performance of the portfolio. However, we look into the full list, we can see all, and I think we have around 90 companies. I extracted them and put them into Excel, so we can see what the exact number of holdings is. Almost 90, yep, so 89 investments in that portfolio at the moment. And by the way, let me know in the comments what we should do with that extracted Excel document. Maybe we can put together some further research on the companies that are part of that portfolio. Maybe how they are allocated, what industries they are from. Maybe do something with it. Maybe you have an idea. Let me know in the comment section. And going back to the list of individual holdings and going through just a couple examples that have delivered a very positive performance. We also look at some examples like A2 Milk that was not very positive. But I think more interesting is to see how well diversified they are, what their greatest contribution were to the great performance. And one that's certainly here up at the top is Afterpay. Over the last 12 months, gained over 264% in the price, which is obviously amazing. And it got down to, I think the low at $8.90. So more than 10x in less than 12 months, which is insane and almost crazy, but also very good for us shareholders. Going further down the list, we have big companies like Alphabet. We have another Australian company, Altium. We have Amazon. They all have done pretty good, especially how quickly they recovered from the low in March. Then we have another established companies like Berkshire Hathaway in there as well. Another great performer, and I've talked about Cloudflare a number of times on my channel, which has a really good performance over the last 12 months. I'm not sure how long Cloudflare is part of that investment. However, they inform their shareholders and investors about changes that they make in their portfolio, and they describe what companies they add into their portfolio, and they also inform people about what companies they remove from their portfolio, and they also tell a little bit of the story behind it, why they think this company is such a good company. Going a little bit further down, Etsy is another great performer over the last 12 months. It's an American company again. Kogan is another stock that did really well here in Australia. And they have just grown massively, and they have just benefited from the lockdowns as well. Microsoft, obviously another, I would say almost must have in a portfolio. Again, just my personal opinion. A company that pays a dividend and still growing, and the Azure platform, which is they are accelerating product at the moment, is still doing very well. Even though when you look at the share price for Microsoft, that didn't happen that much last year. When you go further back, you can see that the growth was massive over the last number of years. So since 2018, almost doubled, or probably even doubled. No, yeah. But the last 12 months, certainly not so much. And then let's go further down. I certainly want to look at one of the greatest performers and contributor to the portfolio, which was Tesla. As you can see, over the last 12 months, the performance is more than 627%. And I think the Univers portfolio, or Tesla was part of the Univers portfolio already more than 12 months. So I'm not exactly sure, but I think they established a position in 2019, so somewhere around here. So again, a stock that potentially has 10x in their portfolio. And also, just to mention, the prices on their platform are always Australian dollar. So no, Tesla did not have another massive jump in their share price just yesterday and jumped from, what was it, 600 or 700 to over 1,000. This is Australian dollar. So all good. And I think the last one on the list, maybe let's have a look at Xero, is another company that I hold in my individual portfolio, up 60%. Great performer, great contributor, and yeah, really, really interesting to see. Yes. Let me know how you find this little look into the detailed companies that are part of that portfolio. Let me know if you want to have some more detailed look into one of those companies in general. And also let me know if you would like to see some more videos around Spaceship Voyager and the investment app. I really like it. I'm really convinced with their strategy. But again, this is just my personal opinion, and I'm just investing my money into that. And yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I'm gonna see you in my next video. Until then, bye. And at the end, the proper disclosure statement: I do not hold a financial services license, and I'm not a professional investor. So this is really just my personal opinion, and you should not make your buy or hold or sell decisions based on information that you see in these videos. Please do your own research. Until then, bye.